Hello YouTube, this is Waynisha Smith, and as you can see, we have a different drop view. This is my room, and I don't know why I don't use my room more often. We have better lighting, but anyway, I guess I'll just do my YouTube videos where I feel most comfortable at, and that's at the table. But anyway, we're gonna do the review here. So we're gonna be reviewing Grimm episode 5, season 5, episode 12. I'm sorry for my stutter. I'm just so excited for this episode of Grimm. This was a very kick-ass, good episode. We finally found out what was in the box. Before we get into that, I want to review the creatures that we saw in Grimm. Like, we got so many new creatures, and I was just screaming at the TV like, what is that? What is that? Who are they? And that's what I was just doing. I was like, what are they? So we're going to review these creatures and on the Grimm Wikipedia page. This is all true, everybody. And the first creature we're going to review is the creature that attacked Rosalie in her spice shop, an old flame or guy she used to hang out with. And he is a dung beetle-like creature. And the way he looks was like, ew, because he had those tentacle faces on his face. And I think I saw that type of animal for somewhere. I don't remember where. But, yeah, it was an ill kind of creature. And like I said before, whenever I get a new creature, I'll like a history of it, what it does, how it lives and whatnot. But I didn't get that with this guy, but it's okay. We know it's a dung beetle-like creature, and I could totally see this type of creature in the Grimm world being a drug head. So let's move on to the next creatures, if they have it. Looking. We have the creatures. We have the two creatures. I don't know if they're the same species, but it's called, the one that was in the woods that turned into this reptile-like creature. It's an avian reptile-like creature. And that's what it is. I don't know what it's called. I can't pronounce these Grimm names. I'm sorry. Nobody pronounced it in the show for me, so I'm not going to pronounce it. And they don't have a picture of it again. But it's a avian reptile-like creature. Maybe if I click on it, I'll get like a face. Here we go. I'm looking at it now. Both of them were an avian reptile-like creature. And it turns out there is some writing on it. I'm not going to read it right now. I'm going to read it on my own time. But it has the male version and the female version of them. The females are like purplish with bright colors on their heads. And the males are always green with orange feathers and stuff like that. Sort of like it reminds me of a dragon, something from prehistoric time, like a velociraptor with feathers or something like that. But it says that it's a reptilian-like Wesen, and I really like it. I really like this design. Hopefully we'll get more. Don't you just hate it when that happens? You're trying to look on something and then you get those stupid little commercials. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, those are the two new Wesens of the week. And I look forward to seeing more Wesens. Like, it's kind of good. We went out into the country and we saw Wesens that we never saw before. But at the same time, we also know how the country are recipient of Grimms. In the country, they're full of fear. They'll get hunting parties to hunt Grimms down if they ever see one. And it's kind of strange and weird because Grimms are not that much, and Grimms have never been like that. It's like there's not that many Grimms. It happens billions of years ago. Grimms are not walking into people's houses anymore, just chopping people's heads off. But that fear of that a Grimm might do it is still very real and very much there. So, yeah. I clicked on the dung beetle-like creature, but I didn't get no information from it. So we're just going to move ahead on to this episode of Grimm and dive in like I said. Now this episode starts off right where we left off at. And the wording we get is, what paths is prolonged? There's a meaning behind that, but I can't think of it. So we left off right where we stepped off at, and the guy who's running for mayor has just been shot, and Hank and Woo is hunting this guy down. He's running into the building, and he's just looking, Hank gets to the rooftop, and I'm like, did this guy fly off? I mean, he is a falcon. How cool would it be if he flew off or glided down with big falcon wings? But no, he just crawled down the building. I just felt like that would have been cooler and more to its nature had he glided down with some wings. But he didn't glide down with some wings. Instead, he just crawled down like he was a spider, and I just felt like that would have been cooler. So the minute he's down off the building, Juliet sees him, and she walks, and she gets him hit with a bike, comes back, breathes into his mouth, and then she's gone. And we're going to Nick and Monroe, and they're like looking for like the treasure, and they're just like wondering, how come we can't find this treasure? We're looking at all these places and stuff. And they were like, we need to think like the Grimms back in the day. And so they do. And Nick was like, maybe we should turn off the lights. And it was like, okay, we'll turn off the lights. Monroe's like, I'm not so sure with that deal, but we'll turn off the lights. And they do, and they see these glowing skulls, and they're clawing through the glowing skulls, and they see the shield that the Grimms hid there, and they remove the shield, and they find the box, and they open the box, and they were like, alright, we found it. And they're like, we're trying to open it, and Monroe's just raving about, nobody has found this treasure. Nobody but us found it. Nobody could find this treasure but us. And Nick is like, dude, I appreciate the enthusiasm, but we just can't go do that right now. We need to hurry up and just get about our business and get up out of here. We don't have time to be sitting here going through all these emotions. And Monroe's like, yeah, I'm just saying, man, like, this is an accomplishment. Let's just appreciate the moment. And I'm like, I want to appreciate the moment too, but we're still far, far away from home. And we can, in fact, run into danger at any time. So let's just hurry up and get up out of here. And they do. And they crawl out the hole, and they see people search. They see lights. And first they're wondering, are they looking for somebody? Did somebody get lost? And then they realize that they're looking, that this is not a search party. This is a hunting party for Grimms. And again, this just shows that the real fear that Vessin have of Grimms, as in Vessins who really don't talk to each other, probably don't even like each other, will band together, whole communities, to chase one Grimm out. And the reason why I say is that they didn't even know the treasure was there. They didn't even know that the Grimms from the past hid it there. So they weren't guarding that. They were just scared of Nick, and they were just trying to chase him out because they were scared. And that was it, because the reason why I noticed when the blue bot from the church came up to the pole, he was like, what is this? Like, he was like complete awe at what he was seeing. He didn't even know that was there. So basically they was just trying to figure out, like, what is this Grimm doing here and stuff like that. And probably not even figure out, probably just want to kill him and just be safe again. Because again, in the country, they're that feared. And they'll kill anybody with the Grimm instead of just figuring it out. And I find that very, very terrifying. So anyway, we can skip to Rosalie and this guy. And he comes through the shop, and he's harassing Rosalie, asking for money and grant and stuff like that. And Rosalie like, I cannot help you. Please go away. I'm sorry that he's dead, but I cannot help you. And I was sort of thinking in my head, Rosalie, maybe it's a real emergency. Maybe people are actually in trouble. Let's hear him out and see what he needs it for. And This guy, he comes up and he hits Rosalie, and she pushes him, and Adeline's like, Adeline comes in, she's like, stop, don't do this. And he runs up to Adeline, tries to hit Adeline, and Adeline grabs her belly in pain again, and it seems like her Hexen Beast powers are coming back because she bends this guy's fingers back by back. And this guy runs out the door. And I feel truly sorry for Adeline because she doesn't want this power back. Because I think being a Hexen Beast, it's you as a person change. Like, it makes you evil. A Hexen Beast, I feel like the Hexen Beast, the human Hexen Beast, is not evil. I feel like the Hexen Beast has an influence on the human half, making that person evil, mean-spirited, dark, crazy, and stuff like that. And Adeline knows this. The Hexen Beast changes you. You cannot go back to being the good person you was. And she's just so afraid of being that person that she was. She wants to stay this human and stay with Nick and raise her kids, and that's it. And at this point, I feel bad for Adeline. I honestly feel bad for her, because if somebody don't want to be evil anymore, then they shouldn't have to be. And it sucks. It really does, because she's afraid that Nick will leave her if he found out she was a Hexen Beast, because she already knows how Nick feels about Hexen Beasts. And Nick's been put through so much already. His mom died. Juliet going crazy nearly killed him. And now moving on about her life. No one wants nothing to do with Nick anymore. And she doesn't want to put this on Nick anymore. She wants to keep this a secret and figure out a way how to deal with this. And I feel bad for her. Maybe somehow the stick will help. Speaking of the stick, that's what's in the freaking box, everybody. When I first saw that, when Nick got home and stuff like that, when I saw that stick was a pain in the ass. I was like, what in the hell? We've been through all this already. And you mean to tell me it's a goddamn stick? A freaking stick in that box. I hate this stick, y'all. I really do. Until Monroe nearly gets killed because that weasel done bit him in the forest. And Nick puts this, and while Nick's trying to hold him up with the stick in his hand, Monroe gets better, and we found out that stick has some power to it, like it heals people. But I feel like you can go into the vesting community and you can find anything that can probably heal you. So I feel like that stick has more than just healing properties. I feel like that stick maybe has some type of power to it. And that's why they hit him. So let's move on to a point in this where we see the captain fight this bird vesting creature. And that was a good fight. I liked it. The captain's like just sitting up there like, where you going, buddy? Where you going? And Captain just kills him. Straight off the back, just kills him. And Meisner corners him in the alley. He's like, why did you do that? We were literally waiting for this guy. Like, literally trying to figure out where this guy was going so we can get more information. And that captain's like, you should have told me. And it's true. Meisner should have told him. If you keep people in the dark, don't expect them to not get in your way. You should not keep people in the dark, especially if they're on your side. I understand that Meisner's a very, very secretive person, but he really needed to get this figure. He cannot trust everybody. And I'm really wondering if we should trust the captain at all either. Because instead of killing that Lowen lion girl thing, she's working with Black Claw. She's the one who had Andrew Dixon killed. She's the one and stuff like that. And instead of just killing her, she invites Lucha Petrofence in the house, and they're like, you can win, Captain. You can be mayor of this city. And I'm all like, just say no. It's not worth it. It's truly not worth it. I don't know if the captain's going to betray them. I don't know if he's going to do that or not. But on another hand, we can totally, maybe the captain's going to say yes and then infiltrate the system and just help bring down Black Claw and still be mayor of the city. I can totally see that happening. Because Andrew Dixon's dead, that means everybody's going to be looking at his competitor like, did you kill him? Did you have him killed? And stuff like that. And I could totally see him winning. So guys, and plus, I don't know if we could trust Adeline anymore because she might be turning back evil. And like I said, I'm not feeling this flip-floppy thing, because if she goes evil, that's the last we'll see of her. Because she can't be good again. So bye everybody. I'm looking forward to Grimm. Have a nice day. Tell me what you guys thought about this episode, because I had a blast with this episode. Bye everybody.